All right, so today in this video, we're going to show you how to update infrastructure. We're going to be updating and destroying infrastructure with Terraform. And we're using Docker, just like we did in the previous video. This is a continuation of what we did before. This video is part of a series, so check out the playlist for this video. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, so you don't miss out. But in any case, this video is going to be a little bit quicker than the previous video. We're not going over the whole configuration and everything. If you missed that, definitely go back and check the previous video and the previous video where we created the infrastructure, and the video before that where we installed Terraform itself, and before that we did an intro. So a lot of other stuff. Don't miss out on that. Go back and check it if you haven't seen it already. And moving along here, in this video we're just going to be modifying what we already had, and then we're going to destroy it. So we're going to do a simple example here, basically the same thing that they used in the Terraform configuration in the official Terraform, basically from the official Terraform website for HashiCorp. So we're going to use basically the same example that they used. I also use that in my tutorial. So if you check the link in the description, it's going to lead you to my website with my documentation, which is basically covering the same kind of stuff that they did, just formatted in a way that I basically just rehashed it in my own format, with a lot of my own commentary and additional expansion and examples and stuff. But I'm basically taking my background is coming from the official documentation from HashiCorp. In any case, I'm using basically the same example that they did in this case. I do like to come up with my own examples in this case. Anyways, I'm going on about that over a little bit too long. Let's just jump right into it. So we're going to be changing the port that it's exposed on. Now, if you remember the last video, we were serving Nginx on, it was being exposed on port 8000. Let's change that to port 8080. So I want to show you real quick the running app. So I'm going to move this window in here real quick. Now this is, so web browser right here, port 8000, that's where it is currently running. So if you were to, our Nginx server is running on port 8000. If you change it to 8080, nothing, right? So it is, so we're going to change the port, just a simple update. So let's see here. We are going to edit our main.terraform or main.tf, and notice we have our, under our Docker container Nginx resource here, we have our ports configured right here. Internal port that Nginx listens on, and the external port that it's exposed on. So we are going to go ahead and change 8000 to 8080. So real simple, right quit. There we go. We've changed the config. Now we're going to run a Terraform plan. All right. Oh, and okay. So, and again, okay, this is kind of an unfortunate side effect of what we did last time. So as I explained in the previous video, we need root permissions to access Docker. We have not granted Docker permissions to the current running user, so I've been using sudo for root permissions to run Docker commands. That also means when Terraform uses Docker, Terraform needs root permissions, so we need to use sudo. Now, you have a couple options here. You can either have Docker access granted for the current user you're running as, or you're going to need sudo permissions or straight up root permissions. In any case, when I ran the Terraform, so I used sudo to run the Terraform plan and apply commands previously. That also created the state file. I believe it created the state file as root. So yeah, so before I run this, let's check the permissions here. So this is an interesting thing to be aware of. But ls-l, and yeah, root. So it's owned by root. So we're going to need to, we do need sudo for that reason, because that's owned by root. But yeah, that does seem very wrong. But it's also, we need sudo for that reason, and also because we need sudo to run Docker commands. ideally we would want to just grant Docker permissions for my user. In any case, sudo plan, sudo Terraform plan, and let's just run this. All right, so now the plan is telling us a few things. Now I'm going to explain here. A plus or a minus means something is being destroyed or replaced or created. A plus is something's getting created. A minus, something's getting removed. So you see here we have these red minuses. These are getting removed. This really doesn't define anything important. Now the orange tildes mean something is being updated in place. So we're not actually destroying this, we're updating it in place as much as it can. So, any case, based on this, it looks like it's, I don't know why it says it's updating these in place. It looks like it's going to destroy the entire container. But any case, that's what those mean. Also worth noting here, at the top of this output, when I run the Terraform Plan command, it refreshes the state. So it actually went out and what that means is it went out and queried the latest state of our infrastructure, and it refreshed the state file with that latest info. So that's what these two lines of text here are telling us that it's doing. So it refreshes the state right here, and now it's telling us what actions it's going to perform. So it's actually telling us, it comes out and tells us this container must be replaced. So it's not really updating it in place. So you do see a red minus here, minus and a plus, so it's going to remove that resource and re-add that resource. Now if we were just destroying it, it would be just a red minus, and if we were just creating it, it's just a plus. If we're replacing it, you can see a minus and a plus, as you do right here. Now I'm not sure why they have these tildes here. I'm not sure why that makes sense, but they do. Any case, so that's happening. It's going to be changing our container, but it's not going to be changing our, notice we don't see anything for, if you remember the previous video, we defined two resources, an image and a container. We're only changing the container, so only the container is getting updated. The other resource is remaining untouched. So 1 to add, 0 to change, 1 to destroy. So that's the plan. Now let's run Terraform apply, and same thing. It gives us, it shows us everything that was, it shows us what it's going to do, and it makes us actually confirm that we want to do it. So we have to type yes. And here it's actually telling us what it's going to do. Forces replacement. It's going to change 8,000 to 8080. So let's tell it yes. And it has now been done. So we can, let's just verify this, that it's actually been changed. So we can now go to port 8080, and Nginx is now running on that port. And if we were to try to go back and go to port 8000, it is, yeah, it sure shouldn't be running on that port. I think I need to open, yeah. Yeah, okay, there. It was just cached, but when I refresh it a few times, site cannot be reached, right? This one, refresh it a few times, site also cannot be reached. Oh, because don't know how I managed to overwrite it with that. Okay, there we go. So port 8080 working fine, port 8000 not working anymore. So that's the update that we expected, right? So yeah, I don't know how I fumbled around with that. Any case, let's see here. So that is updating the infrastructure. And let's see here, stateless, Terraform show, so we can show our current configuration, and we can verify here that it was updated to 8080. So there you go, that's an update. Now we're going to show you how you can destroy this infrastructure. So Docker, first we're going to show you that it's there. Sudo docker ps, I'm going to say -a. Now you see we have two containers running. There's our Hello World container that we mentioned previously, and our tutorial container that is up and running. Hello World is shut down. The tutorial is up and running. That's our Nginx tutorial. That's our Nginx container right there. And if you take away the A, only one of them is running. It's the tutorial container. And if you check Docker image ls, you can see there's an Nginx image and a hello world image. The Nginx image is going to be removed when we destroy this. So we're going to run Terraform Destroy, and this is going to destroy it. It's basically the opposite of an apply. Okay, and again, sudo both for Docker permissions and for state file permissions. All right, so here it's telling us what it's going to do. Each resource, including the image, the image is getting removed. So it says it's getting destroyed. And it has red minuses saying each thing is going to get destroyed. It says the same thing for all of these. So the entire container is also going to be destroyed. So a lot of destroying, and notice when it runs this command, before it even does any of that, it refreshes the state. So it queries the current state of our infrastructure and it refreshes it. It refreshes our state file. So if you go down here, it wants us, just like with the apply, it wants us to confirm. So we say yes, and it's done. So yep, basically destroy complete after 0 seconds, destroy complete, resources to destroyed. So it tells us what it did. Now, if we check Docker image ls, we see our Nginx image is gone, and we have a hello world image. That's the only one remaining. So if we do a Docker ps, nothing running, do a ps-a, and we do see an existing container there, but that was just our hello world container, not created by Terraform. Our Terraform container, which was labeled as tutorial, that one's destroyed and it's gone. So we have successfully destroyed the container and the image for Docker. So that's how we destroyed all of our infrastructure. So basically anything that was in that resource file, destroyed. So we've destroyed it all with that command, and you got to be careful with that. You can take out a lot of things at scale, so just be careful when doing it. Be careful when doing anything with Terraform. So that's it for this video. We do have a bunch of other videos in this series, so a reminder, this is part of a series. Go check out the list that this is a part of, and also hit that subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon so you actually get updates when we put out new stuff, because we're going to be putting out some more advanced tutorials in the future as well. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on that next video.